Hello and welcome to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I am Dustin. We are looking at Apple once again, and as you can tell, today was a good day to be an Apple bull. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be a good day or a great day a month from now, but for today, we want to take this as a dub, boys and girls. And I say that because what we've seen, and this is before even including the after hours moves for Apple, because I know that they had their earnings released today. They closed at $177.57. They saw 75 million shares traded just for the one day. It's been a while since we've seen share counts like that, except for when we saw it kind of bottoming, right? And this is very recently. We haven't seen those big days since the middle of September. We're already at the beginning of November. So we really want to start to pay attention to what kind of signals we're getting from Apple because things have changed, but things recently have changed for the much better. We can see we still have a falling price here in our future price path. That's not great to see. That's based on volatility and the correlation of price, which we'll get into later. We do see, though, that the 1 day and the 5 day have both flipped positive after being at least somewhat negative, most recently on the 5 day. And then you can see in a little bit more distant past here on the 1 day, we were negative on the rolling 1 day return for quite a few days in a row. We're still negative on the 15 day, but we have flipped positive on the 1 month. That's a big one for me. We're thinking about the 3 months. 3 months is still negative, but it is getting much closer. We're at 35 basis points is the difference. So we would expect ourselves to potentially hold that tomorrow, especially if earnings were good. We do want to see what kind of reaction we get to earnings on this Friday, the very first Friday of November. What a scene this may be tomorrow. If we look and see what we have for the signals, obviously Apple's got the go short, the short term, intermediate term, and longer term. We don't see it go long and reflected at all just yet. We do see a little bit of bullishness coming on the short term indicator here, but it's not enough for us to be flipping from that bearishness, which we see across the board, short term, intermediate term, and longer term as well. We can look and see, we can see that we've also been getting more short-term bearish action, which is not great. We look at the rolling sentiment. We have a falling bear. We are getting that the low 40s, high 30s. It's not a great place to be. It does look like we're starting to see a little bit of movement upwards, which is really, really nice. You can see that on the 10-day bullishness, we've gone from 30 to 38, which from the level that we were at, obviously any improvement is big improvement, which is why we were thinking about essentially being up like 20% day over day. We are going to see that slow down, but as we get closer to 50%, that's when we get above and we can see a rising bull. We just don't really see anything that looks like that in Apple as of late. So really curious about how November 3rd is going to shake out for the price action. We do see a coming rising bull here in the trade signals. These are related to some of the previous signals that we're looking at in terms of sentiment. We can see that we do have a recent big bear, recent small bear. We do have a 1 month bear trigger, which I'm not very fond of seeing and buying into. Obviously, the sell signal came on the 23rd of October. Things have changed as of recently. If we go ahead and look at the actual charts here for Apple, the weekly, it looks like it's not rendering perfectly. The daily, though, we can see that I don't really look at any volume or any lines on my charts, but people would probably draw a channel. I'm not sure. I do see a series of lower highs and lower lows. So if the trend wants to continue there, obviously we would expect to kind of peter out somewhere around 180, which is where we're pretty much getting at 177. There's really not much upside. What is that, like 2%? So you want to be conscious of just where the levels are here. I mean, the daily sentiment in Apple still under 50%, still below its 15-day moving average. We could see a big breakout in that. Obviously, we're coming from a lower level. So we would see most likely some mean reversion, which is going to definitely give us an opportunity to see some bullish action here in Apple. Still under that 200 most likely, but maybe that 180, 185 area. We can see we did get a big move today. I do like that it was on rising volume. It's been on slowly rising volume since the middle of October. We do see that the red line, which is the 15-day moving average of the volume, is rising as well, which is good to see. Look at the volatility. This is what I'll be the most curious about. So the volatility is actually starting to break out in Apple, but it's been unusual as of recently. I don't know if this is options behavior or if this is just kind of like it paying attention to being like a macro indicator, essentially because every single pension fund or every single like fund in the world, money manager probably owns Apple. If a war breaks out in Israel, Apple's going to be affected. As ridiculous as it is, it's because it's owned by so many people. So when we look at the volatility, though, we don't see one of these really regular looks. I mean, this like kind of the hill or the cone or whatever you want to see here. That's really kind of like the glide is what we'd expect. We've gotten some choppiness as of recently. We do expect that the volatility is going to continue to break out. We see the price correlation is also breaking out. So we would expect big moves to the upside like we saw today, which is obviously a 2% day. When you're talking about trillions, that's quite a bit of money, even a 2% move. We haven't hit the very top of the range. It looks like that's 184 here in Apple. We'll be really curious. The bottom's at 165. Not sure if we're going to get there. Ooh, it looks like the weekly data just rendered, which is fantastic to see. We'll go ahead and take a quick look over there. If you look at the ultra fast for the weekly, it is under 50 and diving. Obviously, it looks like we hit the very top here in the middle of July. Not surprising, that was back here. Yeah, it looks like middle of July was really the high here in Apple after we hit that low at the beginning of 2023. Looks like we got our price correlation breaking out. Looks like we got our volatility, which is falling. That's not great to see because you're seeing that the volatility on the weekly is falling while the price correlation is breaking out, which means that it is falling with the volatility. Not good. Obviously, the weekly sentiment indicator has been falling as well since the middle of June, middle of July. We're below 50%. We've got a 15-week moving average, which is diving. Not great to see. Overall, the chart still doesn't look good. Looks like we've hit a new high and we are rescinding back to some level. Not quite sure where we're going to stop, but want to be conscious of what it looks like as we review the charts. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And before you go, subscribe to the New High newsletter. We give you 25 stocks to your inbox every single Sunday. Stocks between $5 and $20 that are breaking out. Stocks breaking out to one-year highs. Stocks breaking out to all-time highs. It's a great list to get your Sunday started and get you in that right trading mindset. I'll talk to you soon.